That day in general messed a lot of people up. But to you, losing a husband and obviously the way it impacted our family, how did that day and just as it relates to any traumatic event outside of 9/11 that people experience, how did that day F you up?
I felt like I had an out-of-body experience, if that makes sense to you.
Early on or just in general?
When it happened.
Mm.
It just felt like this is real, this is insane, and I can't even explain it sometimes. Like, I remember when we had to go to ground zero a month later, and I think that's where you really, like, I'm jumping ahead again, but that's when it really like, holy shit, this is a battleground here.
Mm.
Because I was so afraid to go to the city. I was so afraid your kids to leaving our territory. Because I felt like I'm sure I wasn't alone with this. The whole world we were being invaded. This was on our turf. This was in our country. This was insane. This is not really happening. This is not supposed to happen. And I still feel like it should have never happened. But it did. And it was just, where do you go? What do you do? So until I grasped it and realized this is it, then you had to think about how you had to deal with it. But you kids were my priority.
Well, from that experience, because you mentioned a few things about not trusting people, not trusting things. Is that what is the long-term effect that you felt?
Long-term, it still makes me feel that way. I'm still feeling that way. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a little bit of that to begin with because my mother, being Italian, she didn't trust, the Italians, how they are. Some of them, not all of them. But yeah, no, I'm still that way.
How does that make you feel?
Nervous about traveling, going places, yeah. Because like I said, once it happened here, it was like, everything was off. Like, I don't know who to trust anymore,
So being exposed to that event, especially so close to home, did it shift gears and thinking?
It shifted a lot of gears.
So now you say, oh, this could
happen. And of course,
happen.
the fact that, anything can happen in one moment. I mean, aside from 9/11, anything can happen. You could walk out the door and get hit by a car or someone get killed or whatever. It brings you back to perspective of how precious things are in your life, and you want your kids to enjoy the quality of life, and you do have to enjoy the quality of life. You have to move forward. You have to. My God, yes. But you're talking about me personally. I'll always have a little bit on the, all right, let me see, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Then once I get bypast that, I'm fine. I didn't want you kids to do that, and you kind of didn't. None of you did.
What?
You didn't. You're not afraid. You're not afraid to travel. You're not afraid to make decisions. I mean, you do ask the questions that you're doing the right thing. But maybe Jacqueline a little bit. She's always fearful of a lot of things, but she's been pretty good. I'm proud of all three of you. It's amazing where you all are. It just blows me away where you all are. And I have friends that have lost a brother and brothers and good friends of mine, and and parents that I've known very well that lost their sons. It's just a journey for all of us, but everyone deals with it differently. People are just, I had to focus on doing the right thing and being positive and having my faith, and wherever it is, it is. And if something again happens like this again, I know I'll get through it again.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. If something like this happens, you've lost other people in your life, obviously. I mean, you recently lost your brother. So how has losing, because you lost your father obviously way before daddy died. How have these experiences of grief shaped you for preparation of losing other people? Like you say, we just lost Uncle Tommy. Like
just lost my brother. Yeah, Tom.
So how has the other experiences of loss helped you or prepared you or made it worse in other experiences?
No, I never thought of it that way, but I know when death happens, I don't put myself in that sad mode. It's almost like, because we're born, the day we're born, we're already dying. Slow death. It's just the way it is. You're born and you're gonna die one of these days. But no, I think it helped me more of, it's gonna be okay. Because I believe in beyond this. There is definitely beyond this. I really always felt that the angels of all of the 9/11 people that died, and the flight of 90 wasn't the flights, whatever. I can't remember anymore. I try not to remember all that. But anyway, anybody, it's beyond. They're angels and they're around. Absolutely. There's something way more powerful than here. Definitely.
Whatever it is.
Wherever that is.
Something.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where my faith lies in going there. So when my brother was dying, it was a beautiful send-off at the same time, which is what we didn't have with Dad. It was a
Right.
totally different dynamic. It was like, here I'm grieving over Daddy, and he's no longer there. But in my mind, the only good thing out of it, I just have his memory of that morning kiss and saying goodbye to him, and we had no regrets. There was nothing I could say, oh, I yelled at him, I got mad at him, I got upset. Nothing. It was like an amazing, okay, I knew. The only thing that tortured me for a while there, and in fact, my brother Tommy, may he rest in peace, he's the one who said to me that he helped me grieve the part where the thought, if I stopped picturing what those people were going through on that floor when the building collapsed, I didn't even know the building collapsed till 2 days later because I wasn't watching the TV. But it was the smoke inhalation and that I had such a hard time with getting out of my head. Like I knew that Dave, after the fact that I didn't know that the building collapsed, but I thought that I knew that David and most of them died from the smoke inhalation, and that hopefully was quick enough that they didn't feel anything when that building went down. That was my hope, more than anything, the thought. And I think that's what tortured my brain for a while. And I kept that to I talked to my siblings and stuff about it, but I never talked to you guys about it. But that took me a while to recover, and I had to keep telling myself, stop. He's not there anymore. He's there. And I knew he was there because I don't know about many people. I'm sure there are people out there that have grieved and they found their loved ones come through them in different ways. And that has happened to me. I felt if Dad's present. I felt it many, many times.
How? I never told
I
you.
felt his presence around me for at least 6 months straight. Yeah, I've always felt it. I just can't explain it.
Like constantly kind of thing?
Yeah, it was always there. I felt it. I would talk, feel it. I knew he was there with me. And after 6 months, I didn't feel him. I think that's when we finally got over the hump to some degree, and we knew we could do this. It was more like we're okay. We could do this. And no matter, you don't have to linger. It's okay. We're okay. And I think at that point on, it was just okay.
So
I mean,
6
don't get me
months?
wrong. Every anniversaries, I hate it because I don't hate it. It's just because it's so like the world knows you can't do it private. Nothing's ever done privately with this, unfortunately. But it just made it easier. And it never goes away. Never goes away.
So are you still, in light of saying it never goes away because grief stays with you, is there anything you feel like you're still working on 20 years later, 20 plus years later?
Am I working on?
Just in general, like from losing Daddy and your husband.
Do I miss him terribly? Yes, I always miss
Well,
Dad.
of course. I'm saying
It's not a day that goes by. No.
it's been 22 years. It's been what, 22 years since September 11th. Is there anything that you feel that you're still massaging out?
No.
I love that.
No. Other than I know we're all going to be there one day and laugh this off. He's going to say, yeah, I told you, see what you did, what anyway. But he was a great guy. And all of them were, Joey, all of them. I could think of all my friends that I miss, the desk he worked with, Tom and Steve, and it was just those people you don't forget, and the family, I'm sure. Like I said, we weren't alone. So there was no really time to grieve. You couldn't feel sorry for yourself. You couldn't feel sorry for yourself. How could you feel sorry for yourself? You got 3,000 people that died during this whole thing. It wasn't about you. We're all together with this. And that, that actually helped too. Because now you say, hey, I'm not alone. We could do this. We could all do this. We could all work together and get through this. So,
Yeah, that's a tough one because that thought helped me too in many ways, thinking there's so many other people. So it relieved the tension in a way where, okay, there's other people probably feeling very similar.
yeah, exactly.
There's thousands of people that just lost someone. But even through that, it's still obviously very individual, and our family's still got to figure this shit out. It still sucks. We just lost our dad. You just lost your husband. But it is a weird contradiction when, just 3,000 other people just died. And that's always kind of made me.
It's always going to be frigged up. Yeah. Everything seems so surreal. But then death is surreal. You got people that just die normal death. I don't know what a normal death is. Like,
I mean, death is normal.
Death is death. Someone gets killed. Someone dies of a heart attack. Someone dying, Either way, it's just, that's the only thing I always, I'm grateful that I didn't see him any other way but that morning. Like right now in my life, what they did teach me, I don't like funerals and wakes and seeing somebody lay in there. To me, it's like I think just have myself cremated and done and say a prayer. Actually, you know what? Take me to an Irish pub. Everyone celebrate and throw me over the Verrazano Bridge. That's it. That's how I want to go. Have myself cremated, just like Dad is, right over.
You know, I actually love that we have this on camera because we can insert that in your will, and that's what.
That's what I have in my will.
You actually have it?
Oh, yeah, it's cremated and
But
throw
no,
me over the Verrazano
you
Bridge.
literally
in my
have-
notes. So your kids, when you read it, Mom wants to be thrown over the Verrazano Bridge. And that's where I'm going.
Oh, man.
But I'm not here anymore. I'm not here. It's just a
But you're
body.
here, but you're here. You know what I mean? Like you say you felt Dad in many ways. I guess like there's that belief in that feeling.
It's always there.
Hmm.
Because when you have, it's all about love, period, just in generally. It's really all about love. And nothing and no one could take that away from you. No one. Because it's so powerful. It's so within you, in your subconscious mind. Conscious mind, I don't give a shit what you say. I don't believe in it. Let me tell you something. It's in there. It's buried in your brain. You just don't want to look at it. But it's there. It's there. And if you embrace that love and you take it with you, there ain't nothing could stop you. There is nothing that could stop you. And that's what I did. I took the love from all of you, from him, and just take it with you. My brother, whoever passed recently, take that love and just go with it, because that's your strength. There's nothing else. There really isn't nothing else. My love for you guys to carry you through, my love for you that you got me through it. I mean, we work together. Everything's a team. If you want to sob, you want to be in that hole, go right ahead. But that's your choice.
Yeah, but sometimes
I'll kick your asses if you ever do that again. But every time I say, oh, don't look at that hole again. Look at it for a little while. Now move on. You have to grieve. You have to allow yourself to grieve.
I know, but sometimes when I feel like I didn't do anything. I literally feel like I don't know. I just feel like
what did you want to do? What could you have possibly wanted to do?
I don't know. I just feel like I sometimes I feel like I don't know. I wish I could have
been
more of a support system for you guys. I don't know. I gotta feel like I don't know. I don't have regrets. Maybe it's partially because I don't remember a lot, but I just feel like because we've gotten so close. We were always close, and we discussed this earlier. This brought us together. I'm so grateful for that, because there's certain situations I've heard from other experiences how it drives families away sometimes. But for whatever reason, we got closer, and you've taught me the lesson of love in many ways through our experience. But there's still, I just wish sometimes, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer, which is like, I don't know where I'm going on. I start the sentence, I don't even know where I'm going with it. But sometimes I feel like, was I enough of a support system for you? Was I enough of a support system for Jacqueline or Gina? Like,
No.
You know what I mean?
No, you're wrong about that. You were a wonderful child, a wonderful kid. You had a lot of fun. You had great friends. And they all supported you. They were your support. You had wonderful friends, parents. That baseball team was the best thing that happened to you. Beautiful. You carried your father's love with you through everything you did. You didn't see it, but I saw it. You were amazing. Don't ever feel like that. You don't remember because either you couldn't remember, maybe subconsciously you chose not to. And why? But why remember? It wouldn't have got you anywhere anyway. You were my support. That's one thing. Wow, it just hit me. You were my fucking support. Because I had to take care of you, and that helped me get through it.